All right, let's jump into this. We've got a real head-scratcher. A martial arts movie topping international charts.
And not just any martial arts movie. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, it sparked so many conversations about culture, gender, storytelling. It really was a global phenomenon.
Yeah, and we're going to unpack all of that. We've got excerpts from an academic paper on the film's cultural impact, your own viewing notes too, and even a Wikipedia page. Gotta love that.
Those are some well-rounded sources for a deep dive.
Exactly. So it's not every day a film.
And especially a film with subtitles.
Right. Spoken mostly in Mandarin too.
Yeah.
But Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, it captivated audiences worldwide. It seems like director Ang Lee's background was a bridge between East and West. Did that play a role in the film's success?
Absolutely. I mean, you can't separate his background from this film. Ang Lee grew up in Taiwan, steeped in Chinese traditions, but then he honed his craft in the U.S. filmmaking world.
So he's got that unique perspective.
Exactly. Yeah, and it allowed him to tell a Chinese story but make it resonate globally.
Weaving in all those elements of Taoism and Confucianism.
It's all in there.
And even feminism. It's like, whoa.
It's unexpected.
Yeah, feminism in a martial arts film, it feels counterintuitive.
That's what makes Crouching Tiger so unique. You don't get just one strong female character.
Yeah.
You get three. Yu Shulin, Jen Yu, and Jade Fox. Each one embodies a different aspect of womanhood.
Okay, so break that down for me. We've got Yu Shulin, the honorable warrior. She seems bound by tradition, right? But how does that tie into feminism?
Yeah, Yu Shulin, she represents the weight of expectation. She's so skilled.
Incredibly so.
But she constantly has to prove herself in this male-dominated world. And then you've got Jen Yu, the governor's daughter.
Who's a little more rebellious.
Oh, yeah. She's yearning for freedom and agency, rebelling against that life that's been laid out for her.
And we can't forget Jade Fox, the antagonist.
Right. Right. And her bitterness, it stems from those patriarchal structures of the martial arts world. She's like a cautionary tale of what happens when society doesn't recognize a woman's power, you know, her ambition.
Wow. 3 generations. 3 perspectives on duty, desire, and defying expectations. It's like Ang Lee is giving us a crash course in the complexities of being a woman in that time period.
He really is.
But it's not always explicitly stated, is it? There's this recurring theme of things that are hidden or concealed. Even the title, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, it hints at something lurking beneath the surface.
You're picking up what Ang Lee is putting down. It's all about the symbolism.
Okay, like it.
Take the Green Destiny sword, for example, not just a weapon. It represents legacy, power, specifically masculine power. Think about that scene where Yu Shulin warns Jen Yu not to touch it.
Oh, that's a good scene.
Loaded with subtext about what's considered forbidden for women.
It's like those layers of meaning. They're hidden in plain sight. No wonder critics and audiences are still dissecting this film decades later.
Exactly. And that's where Ang Lee's genius shines through. He uses these complex cultural and philosophical ideas, you know, Taoism, Confucianism.
Right.
But he doesn't alienate viewers who aren't familiar with them.
So how do you translate those complex ideas for a global audience? That seems like a real tightrope walk.
Well, one of the articles you shared, it mentions how he did it, the subtitles.
Oh, interesting.
He worked really closely with his screenwriters to make sure that they captured the essence of the original dialogue. They use what translation experts call domestication strategies.
Domestication strategies. Okay, I need an example. What does that even mean in this context? Domestication strategies. Okay, I need an example. What does that even mean in this context?
So it's about making these, you know, complex cultural ideas relatable to a wider audience.
No,
Instead of like directly translating terms or concepts that might be unfamiliar, they find ways to convey the meaning and the feeling behind them.
So it's not just about literal translation. It's about capturing the spirit of it.
Exactly.
Give me a concrete example from the film. How do they handle, like, the Taoist philosophy? Because that's woven throughout the film.
Okay, yeah. Remember that conversation between Li Mubai and Yu Shulin about illusion versus reality? The subtitles, they simplify their words, but they're actually expressing those like core tenets of Taoism and Confucianism.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Li Mubai, the master swordsman, he embodies that Taoist idea, you know, of accepting impermanence. He even says at one point, like, holding on to things too tightly, it brings suffering.
And that's a very different worldview.
Yeah.
From Yu Shulin's.
Exactly.
Because she's grounded in Confucianism, which is all about tangible reality.
Yeah. Duty, honor, those connections we build.
So it's not just a conversation about their feelings. It's this subtle, philosophical debate happening. Ang Lee's working on so many levels here.
Multiple layers, yeah.
And, you pointed out earlier that, like, you wouldn't expect to find those feminist themes in a martial arts movie.
Right.
That's another example of those deeper layers.
It is, and it's more common to see these female characters, like, relegated to the sidelines, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the damsel in distress or the love interest, that kind of thing.
Exactly, exactly. But here, each woman, despite living within, this restrictive patriarchal society, they find ways to express their agency, to challenge the status quo.
Even Jade Fox.
As
villainous as she can be.
She becomes this tragic figure, driven to these extremes because of those limitations placed on her as a woman.
Which makes me think about those incredible fight scenes. They're not just there for show. They're conveying a deeper meaning, too. Like that tense showdown between Yu Shu-lien and Zhen Yu.
Oh, such a good scene.
It's almost like a physical manifestation of their different ideologies, right?
Yeah.
Like a clash between generations.
Precisely. The choreography isn't just about entertainment, It's visual storytelling at its finest. You see this in how the characters, defy gravity, gliding through the air.
Right.
It's a metaphor.
It is.
For transcendence.
Yep.
For breaking free from limitations. And speaking of visual storytelling, we got to talk about that bamboo forest fight scene.
Oh, how could I forget? It's seared into my memory. The sunlight filtering through the leaves, those graceful movements, just that vibrant green of the bamboos swaying in the wind. Every frame is like a painting.
It's gorgeous.
But how does it go beyond just looking pretty, though? How does it actually enhance the story?
Well, that scene, it's a masterclass in visual storytelling. Because the bamboo itself becomes a character. A symbol of strength and flexibility, just like the fighters themselves. And the way the camera moves. So fluid. So elegant. It's like a dance. It draws you into the action. Draws you into the emotion.
And it's such a stark contrast to, the muted colors. The more intimate setting of Yu Shu-lien's home, where she and Li Mubai have that conversation about reality and illusion. It's like Ang Lee is playing with our expectations.
Yeah.
Shifting the mood and the energy of the film through those visual cues.
Oh, absolutely. He's a master of pacing, of contrast. We go from these, heart-stopping action sequences to these quiet moments of reflection. It keeps us on the edge of our seats. And you're spot on about the color palettes, the reds of Zhen Yu's costume.
Her fiery spirit.
Exactly, rebellion. And then you've got the cooler blues and greens associated with Li Mubai, with Yu Shu-lien. It's visual storytelling at its best.
It's like those visual choices add another layer of depth to the characters and their journeys.
Yeah.
You're not just told who they are, but you're shown.
Right.
Through the way they move, the colors they wear, the environments.
Yes.
Even the music.
Oh, the music.
Tan Dun's score is unforgettable. Blending those traditional Chinese instruments with a Western orchestral sound.
It's incredible.
It heightens the emotion.
It does, yeah.
All that longing and melancholy, especially in those scenes between Li Mubai and Yu Shu-lien.
It's the perfect musical accompaniment for their story.
It's true. The music gives me chills every time. It's like the perfect complement to the visuals and to the story.
Yeah.
It ties everything together seamlessly. But you brought up something I kind of wanted to circle back to.
Okay.
The film's reception in China.
Yeah.
You'd think a film steeped in Chinese culture, that it would resonate most strongly, with those already familiar with those traditions. It's true. The music gives me chills every time. It's like the perfect complement to the visuals and to the story. It ties everything together seamlessly. But you brought up something I kind of wanted to circle back to. The film's reception in China. You'd think a film steeped in Chinese culture, that it would resonate most strongly, with those already familiar with those traditions.
Right. It's so interesting, isn't it, how our backgrounds shape our perceptions. I mean, Western audiences were captivated by those very elements, but I don't know, some Chinese viewers, they felt the portrayal was a bit off.
Off? In what sense? Give me some specifics.
Think of it this way, Ang Lee is offering an outsider's perspective, filtered through his experiences growing up in Taiwan, working in Hollywood. I mean, he draws from those classic wuxia films.
Right.
But he blends it with Western storytelling sensibilities. And that can create a sense of dissonance for those audiences, with a deep lived experience of Chinese culture.
So it's like someone making a movie about your childhood.
Yeah.
But they get some of the details wrong.
Yes, exactly.
Or they focus on these things that you never thought were important.
Yes, and this isn't to say one perspective is better than the other. It just reminds us that art, especially when it's so intertwined with culture, it's open to multiple interpretations.
Which kind of leads us beautifully into the film's ending.
The ambiguous ending.
Yes. What did you make of Jen Yu's leap from the bridge? Because I'll be honest, it's haunted me ever since I first saw it.
Oh, it's such a powerful image.
It is. Full of sorrow and possibility.
Right. Some people see it as a tragic surrender.
Others see it as defiance. She chooses freedom over these societal constraints. Which side do you fall on?
I think it's a testament to Ang Lee's brilliance that he doesn't give us easy answers. He leaves that ending open. He allows each viewer to kind of take away their own meaning from that final leap.
So where does that leave us? I mean, we've covered so much ground here.
We really have.
Cultural clashes, hidden symbolism, those feminist themes, the jaw-dropping fight scenes.
Don't forget the music.
Oh, the music. Right. If you had to pick one thing for our listener to take away from this deep dive into Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, what would it be?
I would say just remember that Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It transcends that label of martial arts movie. It's a powerful reminder that even the most, visually spectacular stories, they can have astonishing depth.
It's more than meets the eye.
Ang Lee gave us a film that is both a feast for the eyes and a meditation on the human condition. It's a testament to the power of cinema to bridge cultures and to really ignite our imaginations.
Beautifully said. And with that, we'll leave you to ponder those mysteries of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Until next time, keep exploring those hidden depths.